I can close this out so we don't have to look at it. This little thing right here. Okay. There's Sheila. Sheila, thank you.
Hi. You're welcome.
So those of you joining, even if you're on phone, if you mute your microphone on the screen, it's this button here. And if you click it, you see how it showed up red? That means it mutes. But even if you're on your phone, we ask that you click it because we get some of the feedback otherwise, and it gets really difficult to hear. If you want to speak, you just unclick it and then talk to us. If you're on a computer, you could also just ask a question or comment via the chat feature over here. You just enter down on the bottom. How are we attending class? Do you want to? In the room with me is Michael Harvey, April, and Ron Fields is here. He's going to be joining me up here. Is Teresa Leone here? Emily Reese, Gina Vitullo, Diana Noga, Nick Novacell.
Hi.
Was that you, Nick?
Yeah, I can't see anyone, but I hear people.
Excellent. We can hear you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Bishoy, hello. Are you there, Bishoy?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, thank you.
And Diana's here.
Diana, there
Thank you. We're just trying to make sure who is not getting this information so we can get it to them another way. That's all. We're not going to be the attendance police. And Rick Logan, Katie McGinley. Either of you?
I'm here.
Rick is here. Great, Rick. Thank you. Tom Slagle. Tom, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Michael Billow,
Michael Billock.
James Hain,
Jim Hain.
Melody Gustafson,
Melody.
Lisa Leone,
Teresa.
Marlene Tabor,
Marlene.
I'm here. Marlene,
Oh, Marlene, thank you.
Laura Phillips,
Laura Phillips.
we have Amy Williamson and Gina Vitullo.
Amy Williamson. Gina Vitullo.
I'm here. Gina's here.
Gina's here.
Okay,
Thank you, Gina.
Tiffany Campbell.
No, she emailed me. Okay, then I think we'll start. If that's okay with all of you. I'm still learning Webex. But there. Okay, so I've got to pass along some information to you guys. So it's going to be a little bit of an information dump for about 20 minutes probably. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the workshops, the help that might be available as you transition your instruction to online only. And then we'll make some room at the end for questions. And I just remind folks if they would please mute their microphones to minimize feedback, unless you want to talk. And you're welcome to jump in and ask questions at any time, or you can put questions in the chat, or you can save it for the end. So you can see by my page here, as you're looking at my desktop, this file. These are my notes, my minutes, and I'm just going to go through most of this. But you are on spring break 2 at the moment, right? March 16th to 20th this week is considered a second spring break week. Classes resume on March 23rd. I'm sure you've heard that already. Unless you are teaching online, you're to use this week as a break week, but essentially it's a prep week to get you working toward getting all your classes up to speed online. The president did tell us on Friday that online instruction will continue to the remainder of the semester. This is number 4, actually. So you can plan for the rest of the semester to be online only. This is the new normal, I guess, although we don't really know what this is. We were told that you may report to work as usual, but, as usual is not, for most of you, an online only schedule, right? So what does usual mean? We're trying to figure some of that out as we go along. But you are welcome to come to campus. I scheduled this meeting through Webex, not because you're not allowed to be on campus or because we don't want you here. But given the amount of lead time you got for this meeting, I thought it would make the most sense to at least offer you the opportunity to just phone in. Also, as you see on number 3, we are practicing social distancing. And so we are asked to keep some space between us, right? You perhaps saw that guy in Italy walking around with the wooden donut. You'll get one of those. It's coming UPS to your house. Yours will be red, black, and white with the YSU logo on it. Just be careful going through doorways. If only that were true, right? If we could get one of those, that would be great. Maybe we could get a foam one. But anyway, right, so there was no way for us to have 50 of you meet in our conference room 6 feet apart. And really, it would have been difficult to be down in the auditorium downstairs too. So I thought this was easier to do, but that doesn't mean you're not welcome on campus. And in fact, April, Sheila, and I will be here every day. In fact, April misses you guys already. Well, some of you, she says, not all of you. And we'll talk more. Ron will be here at least this week most of the time too, and many of us will be here. But you're welcome to, but you don't have to come to campus either. We're not scheduling meetings for the most part. We're going to try to do most of those in some kind of format like the one we're using today. So if you don't have to come to campus, you don't have to come to campus. When you teach online, right, you can do your office hours online, and so you can do your office hours online. You're welcome to do that. As much communications with students as you want to do online or through some other virtual means, you're welcome. You can do it over the phone. You can do it over email. If you want to do office hours on campus, you're welcome to do office hours on campus. You can schedule them with your students and you can come in and do it. We do want to be careful that we don't want you to schedule office hours and then have 25 students at 1 o'clock when your office hours start. So we'd ask that you schedule appointments with individual students because we want to make sure there aren't large groups of people in a particular place at a particular time. So if you keep that in mind, right, that we're just trying to avoid large groups of people, however you then want to work, however you imagine working best over the next few weeks, you're welcome to do. So there's some freedom and autonomy there. I think we know we're already asking you to do a lot. Some of you more than others because of your facility with technology and software available. I know, I've got a lot of learning to do when it comes to getting my own classes up and running. So Um, some of you may be in the same boat as I, and some of you, this may be no big deal. And that's great. So figure out what works best for you. Please practice social distancing. We're planning on online instruction through the end of the semester. However, there are no changes being made to the academic calendar. There were some rumors originally that, oh my gosh, we're going to have to go another week after. That's not true. We're ending when we were planning to end. The semester is ending. The academic calendar isn't changing. That means with last day to withdraw date remains the same, and all those other kinds of um, uh, calendar dates, those are all the same. There's no changes being made to those. Um, and so essentially, I think what happens a little bit is, we lose a week here for spring break too, which means if you had 8 weeks left in your course, we're asking you to do 8 weeks and 7, right? Or essentially. But I say that, and then I'll say this, right? I also know you're going to have to make adjustments. You're going to have to make accommodations. You may find that you have to slow the pace, right? You can't work as fast as you would in a face-to-face classroom. You may then have to cut some things, right? You may have to revise and make some adjustments. The English department, the composition program, is going to, I think, attempt to work with you and be very generous in terms of the kinds of changes you may need to make. We're going to be an advocate for you and try to be on your side. You may have to alter some assignments. You may have to do some substitutions. The key word here is that these things are reasonable. That's what they're throwing around. So you might talk with us if you have to make some major changes you might be worried about. Right, those syllabi, we've always been taught they're contracts with students, and we've got to alter them now here. Maybe, right, to some degree or to some various levels. And so if you feel like you're making some big changes, you might want to touch base with us. Or if you want to think about, hey, I was going to do this in my face-to-face class. Can I do this online? Maybe not. What would be a reasonable alternative? We can perhaps help you figure some of that out. And that's the key, right? What's a reasonable alternative? So we're working on a pretty tight deadline, and we know we've got a lot of course material to try to get through. You just have to, right, make some decisions as a teacher. You're used to that. You guys are teachers, right? You're designing your course, or in this case, you're redesigning your course, and you may have to rethink how it gets done. So this is point 5 about accommodations, right? Be open to reasonable accommodation. Your own, maybe your students too. Let me just emphasize this second point here. Because you're moving, right, we're moving to everything being online. When you first came to your class in August and said to your students, if any of you have need for accommodations, please come see me, and maybe a student brought a form up to you and you've made some changes. You may have students now, because you've switched to online instruction, who suddenly do need accommodations who didn't need them in a face-to-face class. So I would recommend that you ask your students again, do any of you need any accommodations? And if they do have, something, you can recommend that they go through disability services and get that documented if they don't, right? But we also ask that you work a little bit with students, depending on what issues they may have. We know immediately, right, that some students are going to have accessibility issues. They may not have internet at home. They may not have a laptop that's capable of running the most up-to-date software or whatever, right? Unfortunately, right, public libraries are beginning to close. We may have to make some accommodations for some of our students. We may have to make alternative arrangements, frankly, for some of our students. One of the things we are going to do in the English department is we're planning on having the labs on the second floor open for students who may need them. Right now, we're planning on 9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. So if your students need to, they can come to campus and use what's available here. We expect that there'll be other buildings on campus that will also have open labs. We're hoping to get information about what's open and when. And I'm hoping that that information will get sent to you, but you can at least tell your students that we'll have an open lab here in the department. We hope to have lab monitors there so that if students have some trouble, there will be people who can assist them, right, when they're here. And you could even meet with students here and know that they had access to a computer and could do some work for a little bit and then check in. Because, again, you're welcome to come to campus, welcome to meet students on campus. The computer lab would just be under the same kind of watch that we're doing as it relates to social distancing, right? We're going to have to limit the number of people who can be in a lab. So maybe 5 or 6 per lab, depending on the lab. We want to make sure they're spaced appropriately. And then we'll see. We don't know how many students we may get. If we get a lot, we'll try to make some other arrangements. We don't want 30 kids standing in the hallway waiting for a lab. We won't do that, right? If we have to open the basement labs, we could do that. We can refer people to other labs in other buildings, et cetera. But we will have things open for them. So Angela would like you to know that the Writing Center will remain available to support you. Angela, do you want to jump in and say anything about that here?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so we still have our online components, including this week for those of you who are teaching the online versions of classes. So our online synchronous sessions will happen in real time. Our asynchronous sessions with what's called the Distance EDU Tutor are also available. Our students upload their documents. So if you've got any questions, I will be here for most of the week as well, just in childcare arrangements. Sometimes have to work from home. But let me know if you have any questions about it. I can send an email out with copies of like how students can do if you don't have those from the beginning of the semester, how they can schedule the appointments. But right now, all of the appointments that were on the calendar have been converted to online appointments if they were meant to be face-to-face. And I've also updated our policies that be penalized if they miss an appointment, since they may not know that these are quick and they can have right now 3 appointments per week because both the online synchronization so I can adjust that if necessary. And anybody who was previously had their permissions removed because of cancellations or no-shows, I added.
Okay. We kind of lost some of that, Angela, but essentially the Writing Center is going to continue doing all its appointments online, and it's going to continue to be available and offer whatever services it can offer you. Again, I think Angela, like most of the people in the department, are going to be trying to do everything they can to make sure you have every available resource, whatever you might need. You may have already seen the university has sent around a survey. The dean has asked that you guys do this. fill this out. It's basically about your technology needs. We need to know if there's anything you need in order to do this. To make your class work and online, if there's something that's absolutely necessary for you. So I sent out this link in an email and asked that you guys do it. You fill it out. It's just going to ask you if you have a desktop at home or a laptop and that sort of thing. Can I remind all you guys to mute your mics because we are getting a little bit of feedback. And then I want to let you know about a couple of things, if I can remember how to make this thing work. You've seen this stuff before. The university's website for coronavirus information. I think this is their central location where they've collected all the communications they've sent out. I think you got President Tressel's video he did over the weekend, but that's here, right? And then they list everything, the sort of official communications as it relates to the adaptations they're making as we respond to the coronavirus threat. So it's a place you might refer to, but maybe more importantly, it's a place you remind your students to refer to if needed. Then they're calling themselves Academic Continuity Team. I think that's what the T is for. It's ACT, right? And they have a website too. This is the folks on campus who are attempting to help you transition to getting all your course materials online and getting you some expertise with facilitating instruction in a different delivery mode. And so they have a page too, right? A quick guide on how to move your course online, some frequently asked questions, right, and ways to do that. And then they have a training schedule here where they're offering classes, workshops, whatever you want to call them, both face-to-face and virtual. And they're offering all of that this week, pretty much nonstop. You can get a face-to-face workshop or get it online. They ask that you RSVP to that, but you see it's on Blackboard Basics, Instructional Media, Blackboard Collaborate, Webex, and they're offering those across the board. One warning is that, as you may have seen, if you didn't have a Blackboard shell created in your class already, YSU went ahead anticipating that everybody would move to online and created one for everybody. If you already had a Blackboard shell, it doesn't matter. You can just ignore the one they created. But the one they created is in Blackboard Ultra. And some of you, my guess is if you didn't have a Blackboard shell, you may have used Blackboard before, but you probably used Blackboard 9, not Blackboard Ultra. These courses in Blackboard Basics are on Blackboard Ultra. You can decide if now's the time you want to upgrade, put that in scare quotes. Terry Benton, who I think is our probably most experienced Blackboard user in the department, did say Blackboard Ultra is pretty easy to use, but that's up to you. But this is what the university is offering and making available. They've also got individual consults you can request right here. But I don't know that you're going to need that because in the English department, we are going to also offer workshops, help, support, whatever you need. Ron is going to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and do sessions in both the morning and afternoon. He's going to do them um, virtually and live at the same time. He, I don't know if this is possible, but apparently, he thinks it is. And so I'm actually going to just ask him to come and talk to you a little more about what he's offering, and I'm going to step out here. Um, are there any questions on any of the? Someone just fell asleep, fell off their chair. I don't blame you, but
Is that George? Joyce?
any questions on any of that policy or informational stuff I sent initially? No, all right, then I'll let Ron talk, and then we'll come back at the end if you have more questions. We'll try to answer them. All right, thank you guys.
Hi. Uh, all right. First of all, I mean, I'm fairly new to this aspect of it right now. In order to try to make eye contact with you all in a not very creepy way, I'm just staring into the camera. I want to look at the screen, but that looks like I'm just looking down. So I'm trying here. And I think that's what all of us are going to be doing for the next few days. I mean, some of us are a lot more adept at this kind of stuff, and others it's going to be a learning curve. But if one thing is certain, it's that all of you have the ability to learn. I mean, you've made it this far, and you'll continue making it further. With that in mind, use me for whatever I can do for you. If I hope that everyone has my phone number, but if not, I want to make sure that you do. And this is my personal cell phone. You can call me, you can text me, whatever that you need. It's area code 216-544-2190. And I'm sure I'll be sending that in emails to everybody as well. Most of the sessions that we're going to have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think you've all received an email from me. I sent it through Blackboard, so if you're a member of the composition program Blackboard site, you should have gotten an email from me. If you did not get that email, let me know, because that means you may not be on the Blackboard comp site. Hopefully that's not going to affect anyone right now. But we will be having the trainings. I believe it's from 10 to noon, and then again from 1 to 3, whatever those times are that I sent in the email. Maybe 9 to 11 and then 1 to 3. I think that's more accurate. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Essentially, my plan is that each one of those sessions is going to be identical. My goal is to get you to be able to create discussion boards and create assignments. That seems to be what most of you have indicated that you want to focus on in the emails that you sent me, and I appreciate those. I will be creating some videos. Sometimes I'm a little long-winded if you haven't figured that out by now, but I'll post a few of the videos to our Blackboard comp site showing you briefly how to create like a down and dirty type of discussion forum, just where you can have the students, participate. That's obviously going to be the biggest challenge I think that a lot of us face. Just because of bandwidth, I would not recommend that everyone have your class time on Webex during your regular scheduled meeting time. That's going to be way too chaotic, and students are going to have a really hard time, and you'll probably have difficulty as well. So I would suggest that you consider making as much of your course asynchronous as possible. Discussion forums, whatever PowerPoints you have, put those up there. Discussion threads, as I said, assignments that are due. I'll show you how to grade those assignments in Blackboard. There's already a couple of videos that I made to that effect. If you haven't responded to the email that I sent out through Blackboard about what you need, please do that, and that'll help me to make sure that I create videos that are going to be relevant, and that the training that we offer Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will also be relevant. I'm going to have basically virtual office hours from home on Friday. I'll be in a Blackboard Collaborate Ultra chat room from 10 to 2, and you can just drop in. I would encourage you to do something like that if you're meeting with students. If you had set up conferences, then basically you be in front of your computer with the camera on from 9 to 3 or whenever, and in Blackboard Collaborate, and that way the students can actually pop in and have some one-on-one time with you. I would do that every now and then. I would not try to host your entire class online. It's going to be crazy. Before I go any further, I want to find out if anyone has any questions at all.
Ron, you may want to go back to the desktop or chat.
I want the desktop. Yeah, no, this is not going to. I'm not as familiar with Webex. Just right here, right? Because I don't know how it's set up here.
It's very confusing.
Oh, you go to. Oh, okay, share.
This one, I think, and then there it is.
Oh,
And if you wanted to put in your phone number there, they could probably see.
yeah, that way they can see it there.
If anybody just wants to type in a question, you can do that too. I don't know, it looks like that's it.
There may, just in case, if anyone's like searching for to turn your mic on or something, if you need a moment, whatever I can do. Is everyone feeling all right? Anyone got the COVID-19 yet?
Oh, right. You don't have to disclose.
You don't have to disclose. No, I know this is nothing to laugh at. I mean, this is going to be a major thing. With that in mind, I like to look at it as a learning experience. You know, I mean, we're learning. This is the first time I've ever been through anything like this. I don't think any of us have gone through the Great Depression. I'm not going to call out anyone specifically asking if you survived the Great Depression. One thing I want to show you real quick in Blackboard.
Ask me if I survived, I'll be mad.
Oh, is that Joyce?
Yes.
I was thinking Howard Reese, but no. Howard, you survived the GD, didn't you?
No comment. Well,
No.
time limit is up.
All right.
If
Okay.
you ever watched The Adventures of Superman, you would have got what I just said.
Wait, the old one, the original with George Reeves, right?
Yeah, that's ancient, and so am I.
That's ancient, and so
I'm
are you.
muting.
All right. Well, even
Bye.
I mean, all of you. I mean, this may be the first time that a lot of you have even used Webex. I used it for the first time just the other day, and I mean, it works great. You know, I mean, it's like any other technology. There's a learning curve. With that in mind, I wouldn't recommend that you use Webex necessarily for meeting with your students, simply because if you notice, we had to send everyone like a host key and a meeting number and all that for you to log into. With Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, it links right to your Blackboard shell. So all of your students will see it pop up on their calendar immediately, and they can click and join a meeting. I'm going to take you to my Blackboard right now just to show you where I put things in our composition program site. This won't take but just a second, I think. Can everyone see are you seeing the website right now? Is anyone seeing a website?
No.
No.
Okay, all right, hang on. I'm going to share web browser. All right, I think we're good now. Well, it opened it up in Edge. That's the thing.
Your favorite.
Yeah. All right, can everyone see this? It says you're sharing a web browser. You can now browse the web and share pages. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. All right. I don't know if this is going to work because, as I've told everyone, Blackboard does not like Edge. So we're going to see what happens here. Give me 1 second. And you all should have, I'm sure you're familiar with this. It's got your courses and all that. Under ongoing, you won't have nearly as many as I have. It's the YSU Composition Program. Course Shell Home, I went ahead and put a link to Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. If you click on that link, then it's going to pop up with a window, and you can see I've already got a session scheduled. In your page, you will also, in any of your Blackboard shells, you can create a Blackboard Ultra session. To find Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, it's down on the left under Course Tools. If you click on that, Collaborate Ultra, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, it's right there. This will let you schedule the site and everything so that you can host either office hours or like a conferencing session. I've got this set for 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it'll be live and I'll be nearby and people can just drop in as whatever I would normally schedule. I recommend that highly for conferences. On the left-hand side, the left margin, you will see it says Blackboard Tutorials. That's some of the videos that I put up. Some of you may have seen them and you may have not. I just posted a link. I use my YouTube for a lot of these things, and I created a video for how to use research databases at YSU. You can link to that to my YouTube page and incorporate that into your own Blackboard if you want to. This link, I think it's like 11 minutes about how to find research articles. If you want to add me to your Blackboard shell as an instructor, there's a video for that. That way, if you need help, I can jump right into your shell, make changes, help you with whatever that I can. Even if you had, let's say you've got 5 quizzes and you don't know how, but you need to give these quizzes and you don't know how to do that. If you give me the Word documents, I will find a way to create the quizzes for you. I'm happy doing that. I don't think that I'm going to have 60 people want me to build entire courses for them or anything, but I will do anything and everything that I can for you. If you need something done, I'll find a way to make it happen. So, but you need to add me as an instructor so I can actually go in and make changes to your Blackboard. You've already paired Blackboard and Connect. How to create an assignment and grade it in Blackboard, there's a video for that. It's 20 minutes long. But you can watch that video and I think that will help. I'll also be posting stuff for the discussion forums in the very near future. All right, let me go back to sharing my meeting window, right? Oh, and okay, I see a gray screen. Yes, I can now. So I hate to interrupt, but my ancient laptop will not allow me into Ultra. Teresa, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi. Not an interruption at all. What web browser are you using?
an ancient one. I think my operating system is too old.
What operating system?
Mac, Snow Leopard. I don't even have a working camera.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. And put that in your list of technology stuff.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe we'll see what we can scrounge up here. A department laptop or something for you. Unfortunately, I'm Mac illiterate. The last time I used a Mac seriously, it was in the 80s. So I can't help very much with that. Yeah, you probably will need to update.
Is there no way to get into Blackboard 9?
You can get into 9, yeah. be able to just still get into Blackboard 9 from I would think from any computer with the website.
Except my own.
Except your own. Well, maybe. It depends on what error message pops up and all that. Maybe I'd like to help you with that. Maybe we can chat a little bit later after the meeting.
Sure.
Okay, I will do everything I can for you, Teresa. All right, Catherine McGinley, welcome. I saw that you just joined in. Some of you may have dropped out and joined in. Is there anyone here who came in late that maybe we didn't get you on the attendance we took earlier?
It's Nikki. I just joined in.
Nikki Erickson. Okay, welcome, Nikki. How you doing?
I'm better. I'm done with the dentist.
You're done with the dentist?
Yeah.
And you can talk. That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Jim Hain, are you here? Paging Jim Hain. Amy Williamson. Michael Billick. Anyone else?
Emily Reese is here.
Emily Reese is here. Yeah, we got. How you doing, Emily?
Good, how are you?
I'm pretty good. All right, we're all going to be pretty good by the time it's over. And does anyone? I mean, do you have a concern? Do you have worries? Any questions?
Here's a question from Nick in the chat.
Where's the question from Nick?
In the chat.
Oh. Heard the Blackboard's blog feature works better than their discussion boards, but I've never used either, so I'm not sure what the difference is. Honestly, I don't use the blog feature as much. I think that it's designed to emulate Blogger, so it's going to look like a discussion forum. You can set them in to be graded. That allows a lot more creativity in terms of design. So let's say that for a student, let's say I had them convert an argument. Okay, I give them Jonathan Swift's modest proposal, and I say, okay, I want you to take this modest proposal, and I want you to build a blog that Jonathan Swift may have created to show his modest proposal to the modern American audience. Okay, instead of writing it as a pamphlet for 18th century Britain. Okay, so then the students would be able to create a blog with their own design elements, which they cannot incorporate in the discussion board. So I guess my short answer to that would be the blog lets you have a lot more creativity and publish in a web version, whereas the discussion board is more typical, boring, but effective threading method. Does that help in any way, Nick Novosel? And I've already put Nick to sleep. Okay, that's fine. All right. Oh, Nick responded yes! Exclamation point. Okay, very good. Thank you, Nick. Anyone else? Questions? Sorry, I can't get my mind. Over on the left, there may be a thing that says you may not be able to see where my mouse is, but on the left there's a microphone that's got a slash through it. If yours is red, that means that you're muted. The same is true for your video. Let's say, for instance, that your hair was really messed up and you wanted no one to be able to see your video. You can hide your video or let them see it, whatever that you want to do. Amanda had to pop out and pop back into the mic access. Okay. Jesse, can you hear me? Jesse McLean.
I can hear you.
Hi, you asked a question.
Yeah, I was hoping, I think if I bring an assignment on one of those Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday days, and you actually sit with me and we get it up, I think that would alleviate a lot of anxiety on getting assignments to the students, because if we do one, we'll be okay on our own, I think. Can I do that? Bring one?
Absolutely. Bring one, bring 10, whatever that you want. I will
They
certainly
all
be
want
able to-
10.
We will knock it out. I guarantee.
All right, thank you.
And I don't know if it's been everyone else's experience, but it has been mine. The students seem to be much more intuitive with the technology than a lot of us are. I think the students are going to be able to jump right in with this. Some of them may not because they just don't learn well in an online environment. So one thing that I really want to stress that I think is important is for us to remember that there are going to be those students who don't want to reach out to us during this time. So it's going to be especially important for us to keep reaching out to them. I would send emails with people. If you send an email and you don't hear back, actually, you've got the student's phone number through your banner, and I would give them a call, chat with them. I think it's so important that we do everything that we can above and beyond what we normally would do as an instructor to try to maintain that sense of contact with students, because right now it's going to be so easy for the ones that really need us to fall off and be ignored. So I'm hoping that we all can do that. Other questions, comments? Amanda Miller has a very good suggestion here that you can read in the chat about using Google Forms, sending it out to students, asking about their technology access. I just requested everyone send me an email. I told them I need to know if they had a laptop with a camera, a phone, and internet access at home. Most of my students have replied, but I've got like 5 that haven't replied yet, and those are the ones I've got to really reach out to. I don't want to just keep going on. I mean, if you've got questions, hit me.
And I just wanted to thank you all again. Let you know, stop by this week if you want. Ron will be here. I think others will be here too. Courtney has said she can come by and help, and a couple others of you have reached out. Full-time faculty have reached out. So if you want to work one-on-one with someone, we probably can make that available. And of course, Ron will be around a lot. So feel free to shoot him an email if you have more specific questions. I think Jesse's idea is a good one. Ron can bring some samples. And so we're good.
Ron, 9 to 11 on Thursday, correct?
Yes, that's one of the times that I will be available at 9 to 11. Yes, and then again 1 to 3. I think I schedule it so I take an hour off so I can eat something and decompress. So yeah, 9 to 11, then 1 to 3, and I am dead serious. If it's like 7 o'clock at night and you're like, I need help with this. If you're a night owl, call me, or you definitely call me and say, Ron, can you help with this? I will not be mad. Now, if it's much after 9 o'clock p.m., I might be sleepy, but use me, please.
And let us know how we can help, because we know this isn't easy. And of course, the times are uncertain and everybody's a little bit anxious. So we want to make sure as best we can, you're feeling comfortable enough so that your students are feeling comfortable. So thank you.
Jeff,
Yes.
Jeff, Howard Reese here.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, you had mentioned in an email that you might be recording this session. Did you in fact record it? I'm on the phone, and as I mentioned before, I was not able to install that Webex app. I've had some phone dropouts as I've been listening. If you do have a recording, I would like to get a copy of that.
Yes, we have recorded it. Ron's gonna fiddle with it because I'm not capable of doing anything with it. And we'll get it into a form that you can access. I think it's going to do through the Blackboard site, the YSU Blackboard site.
That's how you'll get it. Yeah, I'm going to have to upload the file to my personal YouTube because Blackboard does not like large files. You can upload entire videos, but it's bad. The best thing for videos is to put it to YouTube and then have the link. But you'll be able to get it through YouTube. Also, if anyone's on Facebook, you can add me there. I'm happy to be Facebook friends with any of you and get information to you that way too.
Joyce, this is Joyce Bowser.
Yeah, go ahead, Joyce.
I'd like to come in tomorrow at 9 to get help. So,
And I'll be here.
okay, thank you.
All right.
We'll give you the discounted rate. That was a joke. There's no,
I probably can't afford that either.
well, free or freer. So,
It's okay.
Angela asked a question about any changes planned for NAFs, and as far as I know, no, I haven't heard anything about that. I imagine as we get closer to grading time, we'll get some communication about that, if there is anything related to that. And, you may have students who, we may find ourselves using incompletes more this semester than ever before. We'll just have to see how it goes, right? The situation's unfolding daily. And one thing I've learned is that it can change pretty quickly. So we'll be in communication with you, or if you got questions you haven't heard something from, send us an email. Yes,
Michael, do you have anything?
the Writing Center is taking online consultations, yes. All right, I think we're good. All right, thank you all. We appreciate it, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Everyone,
Thank
be
you,
well.
everybody.
Thank you.
Stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.